Right, let's try again.
Episode 17.
17.
We're almost at 20.
I know.
3 more. 2 more. Quick maths.
So we are back. It's just me and John, kind of, but not really. So no Mason this week because he's super busy with all that stuff, work, baby, you name it. We've got like a partial guest this week. With a teaser guest with Ashley Reynolds, who decided to pop in. We've spoken about Ashley a few times, and he just happened to be here, so we're gonna have a little chat to him, but this isn't like the proper Ashley episode. So Ashley's already done lots of podcasting. He's a bit of an old hat at this.
Very experienced.
Yeah, but let's start how we always start.
Very experienced jiu-jitsu purple belt.
Very experienced.
Veteran.
He started after you, didn't he? No, he started before you.
He did start before me.
Yeah. So how does it feel, Ashley, that he's completely overtaken you?
Well, there's a few reasons for it. I
And
don't
so
think too much about it.
Excuses. I had cancer.
I'm not even thinking about that. I've forgotten about it. I haven't even had it, to be fair. But it was 1 year ago, a couple of days ago.
Oh, nice.
It came up. I got my purple belt, yeah.
Oh, purple belt.
Not that you had cancer.
No.
I was like, oh, nice one, mate. Congratulations.
No, yeah. I got my purple just over a year ago.
That's also
And I've done fuck all.
Great achievement.
I've worn it like twice.
Right, let's start how we always start. How are you, John Morgan?
Not too bad. I think I'm getting over my illness.
Yeah, we've been ill.
I've been on the toilet, in the toilet, bit of everything at the moment. Doing my best.
Yeah.
But apart from that, not too bad. Getting back to work. I missed a day and a half of work, which my business phone was up here. So I missed a couple of messages and a couple of jobs, but it is what it is. Got to look after myself.
Yeah, and that's kind of, in a way, is kind of good because you were stranded in a way because you couldn't really answer any calls or anything. Therefore, you had to actually take a rest.
Well, I was planning on opening up the club that morning. So I was sick at like 4 a.m. or 4:30. And then I put the message out saying the class was cancelled, but I was debating still opening and just leaving the keys with someone. But I was just like, if I try driving, I'm probably going to shit myself on the way.
There's not a lot you can do at that kind of time of day. Like, even if you sent a message to the coaches chat being like, can anyone give me cover?
Everyone's going to be asleep.
Everyone's asleep, so...
I'm the only one who does it.
Yeah. There was talk among some people, they thought you'd left us like permanently because you missed like only one session. They're like, John's missed a session.
He's cancelled a class and he's not at the open mat.
He's gone forever.
No.
But alas, you're still here.
I am still here, still alive.
Like a rash.
Yep. I'll be back training, smashing everyone again soon.
Nice. So you had some kind of stomach bug thing.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe I had too, because I had similar symptoms, but not quite as bad as you, because I had a bit of a bad stomach and then was like skin was tender, got like really cold, all that stuff. So there's lots going around, basically.
It was weird though, last night I did get some hot sweats. I was like, why is my room really hot? But the heating wasn't on, window was open. I was like, okay.
So actually, it's interesting you say that, because last night, not last night, the night before last night, I couldn't go to sleep. Like, I was really tired. I was like falling asleep with my book, and I was like, okay, time to go to sleep. And I tried to go to sleep, and I was too hot. So, you know,
global
exactly
warming.
like that. Well, that was the thing. It was cold out, and I was like, I'm so hot, and I couldn't control my temperature, and therefore didn't go to sleep for like 3 hours. So yeah, we've both been ill, both probably had something similar.
Yeah.
So what's your percentage today?
Percentage, I reckon, with the illness and that, probably about 65, 70. The machine downstairs has really been pissing me off today, so...
Yeah, there was a lot of swearing when I came in.
Yeah, I was about to grab that machine, just throw it against the wall, and just buy a new one.
Is it like like a cab machine, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it just cuts out decals and like whatever I send to it. But anytime I do like a straight line or anything like that, it's just like, nah, I'm not going to do it today. Just when I want it to, it won't.
Yeah, grim. Well, you're still on quite a high percentage given the John standard of. I'm about a 50.
I've had a packet of crisps today as well, so I've been eating
right.
in the past like 3 days. That's all I've really had.
Nice. I've had a custard tart, so I'm on top of the world. Yeah, cool.
And
Good.
Vic was saying about the whole looking after yourself and eating properly.
Yeah, which I think we'll probably talk about today, which will be also quite a good transition into Ashley's stuff too. I think perhaps. Yeah. Do you want to ask me how I am, or do we just not care anymore?
How are you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm alright.
It doesn't change. What is it, 80%?
80. Is that what I normally am?
I think it's 80, isn't it?
Last time I was 85.
Oh.
Well, I was up and down. I've been up and down because I've been ill, like I said, but recovered now on the most part, or yeah, completely, which is good. I was at training last night, which was a good test of like, if I'm going to get ill again, that's going to be what kind of pushed me over the edge. And I didn't, so that was all good. Yeah, so again, very busy, lots on, but trying not to let that kind of overwhelm me. Stay on top of it all. Yeah, so I'm rocking. Well, it's a nice day, and I've had a custard tart. I've got what's left of my coffee from this morning. So I said, last week I was 85. I'm going to be 86%.
Yeah.
1%
nice.
better. Yeah.
Nice.
And Ashley's here. So Ashley, how are you?
I'm good.
Just had a massage.
Yeah, so that was nice. First one for like probably 6 weeks, I think she said.
Nice.
Because weren't you booked in, but you end up in Scotland?
Yeah, I got up there.
Forgot.
I was like, oh fuck, that's been booked in, because I book everything in for a Friday because I work from home. But I don't ever look what's booked in. I'll just get like a text that week, and I was like, fuck. And I the one for today. I forgot about as well until 2 days ago. I got the text and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, which worked out well because I was supposed to be up north for work in Sheffield, but that got cancelled. So
it all worked out.
Yeah.
Have you thought about a calendar? Like an actual calendar?
That's kind of gay. Just got.
She always says to me, you never put in your calendar when you've got a massage. You just wait for the 24-hour notice message.
Just on a Friday, fuck it.
So why is calendar gay? I love a calendar, but then I'm quite gay.
I've got 3 calendars, but I only use like one of them occasionally.
You got 3 calendars?
Yeah. I've got my Gmail one, which I don't really use. And I've got my Outlook one that's the one I use. And then I've got my one in my diary.
No, I mean, yeah, like an actual calendar up on your wall.
Yeah, I just got my diary for that.
Yeah, I'm not that organised.
Nor am I, by the looks of it.
I just take it as it comes.
Yeah, nice. So you just had a massage, so you're doing good. How would you say you are as a percentage today?
I'm never really that bad, to be fair. It's normally quite high. Let's say high 80s.
High 80s.
Shit.
That's higher than me. That's much higher than you.
Yeah.
Nice. He's
That's pretty good.
dragging up the average. That's good.
That's what I do.
What do you think? What do you think you could do different to make that into the 90s?
Earn more money.
That's quite a long-term thing. All I needed the other day was a cookie, and no one gave me one. That was an easy win.
Ashley just needs more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've got quite an easy, simple life. I can't really complain.
Nice.
You have
Other than
I've been content.
cancer, but what's that?
Well, you smashed it, didn't you? You beat it. You completed it.
Well, I still have it technically, which I'm happy about because I can still say I have cancer.
We
But
need
it's
to
just not doing anything.
we need to not dive too far into this because we need it as a teaser for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, so we've touched on cancer. We've touched on the fact that you're a purple belt, but you haven't trained much as a purple belt.
No.
Is this due to the kind of the ultimate excuse again of the cancer?
Plus, you're on your third club.
Sorry,
aren't
it's
you?
important to point out.
Third club, yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to point out because we've been having a bit of an off mic discussion about how much banter is too much banter, because it can often affect people, a bit like what Vic was saying about looking after yourself and having an immune system. If you're going to get a skin condition, it's probably when you've got a busted immune system already. Yeah. I think banter can often be overstepped when you're stressed or tired or having a bad time in general.
Definitely.
And it's the banter that would kind of tend to be normally perfectly all right that then is what is the straw that breaks the camel's back. So it's important to point out to those who don't know Ashley. So you guys have been mates with each other since you were
Probably
Like year 2?
primary
year 3?
school, yeah.
yeah.
A fair few years now.
So
Yeah.
you would struggle to offend each other,
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
and therefore basically I've kind of jumped on that by exposure over the last. Well, I've known you for a long time now as well.
Yeah.
So as long.
Since jiu-jitsu, so that's been at least, was it 6 years?
6-7 years, probably.
Yeah. So obviously cancer in general is not a joke,
No.
but that's kind of a big part of how you've kind of chosen to deal with it, right?
Yeah, it's how I deal with anything,
Yeah.
I think. Just joke
Cool.
about it and it's funny.
Got to find a bit of laughter out of anything.
Yeah.
Can't take everything too seriously.
Yeah. That's very almost stoic of you, of like choosing how you deal with something instead of letting it.
Yeah, I tend not to let anything pile up.
Yeah.
Just joke about it and it's like I don't get too stressed out of it. If I am stressed out, it'd be over a small thing for like a short period of time. Then
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just I get by, I plod along.
Apart from that one day in Scotland where you were a bit down because you posted that video.
Oh,
Where you were skipping the stones. Like, you were a bit low then, weren't you?
yeah, I had a few people reach out to me asking if I was okay. Which is the first time I've ever had that. So that felt weird.
They didn't do it when you had cancer, but they did do it when you went to Scotland and skipped some stones.
I just got jokes when I had cancer. Which I preferred.
Yeah. It's hard to know how much detail to go into, Ashley, because he's an interesting little cat, aren't you?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Can you? Okay, so maybe before we do the whole Ashley episode, how briefly did you meet John? How did you get into jiu-jitsu? And how come you're here now?
As in here, or
Yeah,
just in
literally
life?
Just had a massage.
So that's answered. You just had a massage.
And I drove up here.
Fair. Right. So that's question 3 answered.
So I grew up. I grew up with John in the same area. I was quite fortunate that I grew up with a good few people around the same age.
Good people, do you hear that?
Good
Another
people.
person saying we're
Good few
person.
people. But yeah, so which I'm still friends with all of them till this day, which is quite good.
So that was not through school. That was because you actually lived nearby
Yeah, and there was a school.
that you did or happened to go to anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I tell you what though, before you say any more, he was a fucking nightmare to get to come outside. Like, we'd knock on his house to be like, is Ashley coming out? He'd be like, oh, in a minute, he's watching Home and Away. Had to put on like 2 pairs of socks before he left the house. It'd take him like half an hour to do it.
Yeah, I'm still like that now. I don't watch Home and Away now, but and I don't wear 2 pairs of socks, but
But you did back then, didn't you? I don't
Yeah.
know why you did.
Was that
But
because you got like chilly feet or something?
I think it's because like I wore shoes that's a bit too big.
Okay.
I think I can't really remember now properly, but Yeah, that
So it
I
obviously
always
made
did.
you interesting enough that all of these guys wanted to hang out with you.
Yeah,
That's fair.
but yeah, I just a pain. Yeah, I could be a bit asked to go out sometimes. And yeah, I got into jiu-jitsu because I think I'd done it around the wrong way, where I signed up for a fight first and then started training.
Yeah, you were one of those people.
Yeah, like
I reckon I could do that.
well, I got there's Ultra MMA, like white collar charity fight, and that's the first time we've ever heard of them, and all of my friends signed up, and I was like, I can't be the only one to not do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I didn't have to fight at all. I still don't.
You actually did quite all right, didn't you, in that one?
But the first one, yeah, I won the first round, but I think he was just worse than what I was. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Like when I first got hit, I was like, oh fuck, this is real. I was like, I didn't know how to do it. So
Do you find since then realizing how dangerous like jiu-jitsu, like MMA and stuff like that is? Do you feel like you were lucky with how the outcome?
Yeah, like it could have went the other way easily.
But then you were quite smart because you and John's brother Sam came to train. That was before the first fight, right? Was that before your second fight?
It was before the first one.
Yeah,
I think
because they offered like some really basic training. To everyone,
so I think you
don't they?
get 8 or 10 weeks of like 2 hour sessions a week, but it was like really.
Well, the first
like,
one my brother didn't fight
fundamentals.
though. It was the second time when Sam fought,
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I can't remember now.
wasn't it?
yeah, he
And then
didn't.
Sam was training at that point already, a couple of months, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so
So he may have already been training jiu-jitsu at that point.
yeah,
Well,
I think he
anyway,
was.
That's how we met, and then we came to support because you'd already
On
been
the
training.
second fight, yeah.
with us, and that's how we met John, which we've already heard that story of.
Yeah, little fat man.
So it all adds up. Looking at the time, you're gonna have to go.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, that's it. Go, Ash. He's off. He's got a work call.
Little tease.
We'll just let him go. This can be.
Is this still recording?
It is
Oh, cool. Yeah, little tease into
Yeah.
Ashley's journey.
the start of the conversation, which
Yeah.
means we don't have to cover it next time, and just let him go out. If you hear any stuff like any backgroundy noise, I thought it was an aeroplane, but I think it's some landscaping going on or something, like some something being trimmed outside, trimmers or something.
No.
Yeah. So when I think we're going to try and talk to him next week, aren't we? Next time.
Yeah, I think he's going to come in on Friday.
Cool. Because then we can compare his how are you? Because he said he was what?
80, high 80s.
High 80s. He didn't give a number.
No.
Maybe we can try to analyse that next time.
Hopefully he says low 80s next time.
We'll see.
Maybe like
But we've
question
got,
him.
Yeah, something to compare it to, which is good because we don't often get that with guests. Yeah, so that was a little trailer, not even a trailer because
little intro.
he was here and then he's not here
Yeah.
with Ashley. So yeah, very interesting character, Ashley. Yeah, and we give a lot of banter because he encourages that.
Oh yeah.
If there was someone who had like similar struggles but didn't deal with it in the way that Ashley deals with it, we of course would probably not be as kind of banterful as we are with Ashley. But you can tell we've got a long-standing, very tongue-in-cheek history with him, don't we? So
Yeah, we've known him for a long time and just know what he's like. So we know how to deal with him and how he likes to be dealt with.
yeah. So we today, to follow on from that, is you've been ill, I've been ill.
Mason hasn't been ill, has he?
Mason's not been ill.
Just a lot going on.
He's been quite stressed, which can obviously contribute to being ill. And speaking to Vic last time, I'm saying if you're going to have like a real flare up of staph is going to get you, or ringworm especially will get you, because it's kind of always there, is normally when your immune system is down. Do you reckon you'd been making some bad choices that contributed to you getting ill?
Yeah, probably having too many like Monsters. I don't know how I got into the habit of even drinking Monster. I've never had energy drinks in my life. And then all of a sudden this year I tried one, and then I've just been having them like once every few days. Yeah.
It's caffeine, mate. That's what that is. Well, yeah.
I think the most I had 3 in one day.
Because you don't really, well, you've never really drunk tea, coffee, anything like that.
No, the only tea that I've drunk was mushrooms.
Yeah.
Ones with mushrooms in it.
Yeah, which is a story for another day.
Yeah.
Actually.
That would be good with Sean on.
Yeah, he'd be a great person to have on the pod. We'll speak to him because he'd be quite an easy win.
Yeah.
And he'd be a very interesting character because he's got a really cool and, he's got a real story, hasn't he?
He's done a lot.
Anyway, yes, that's the only tea you had was when we gave you some mushroom tea. And that wasn't even caffeinated.
No.
So if you start drinking Monster...
I haven't had one in like all week, so...
Oh, well done.
No.
Well done, John.
Yay.
Stay strong, stay sober.
I think after being ill, just like my... What's the word for it? Like my taste buds, or... What's the word when you not really feel hungry? And
your appetite.
Yeah, my appetite is sort of changed now, and it's like I'm not really... I'm not eating anything at the moment because I don't feel hungry. I feel like I want more like natural stuff, like fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
Just you want a craving for something natural.
Actual nutrients.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I probably did similar because I hadn't been training for about a week just through kind of scheduling because we had a big like family weekend which is good, but means I didn't train on Saturday. Catherine had a shift on Monday, like a late shift, which means I didn't train Monday. And then if I don't train, I just don't do much else. I could do like a workout and I like lift some weights at home, do some stretching, but you don't, do you?
No, it's hard to do it by yourself.
Yeah,
I have no motivation to do it by myself. Occasionally I'll skip.
Yeah,
but to like stand there and lift and do like a whole circuit and stuff, I can't do it.
I need the structure of lessons and classes and just like scheduled stuff. If it's not scheduled in, I'm not going to do it.
No.
And then you stay at home, and I was like, I'll just have a little glass of wine with dinner because I'm not going out, am I? So, and then I find certainly drinking, not even drinking a lot, but just even drinking a little bit of alcohol, I know my immune system is down for like the next 24 hours or so. Yeah. So if I'm going to get ill.
But you seem to perform your best when you've had like 2 drinks or something, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've got a skill-based, like if you're playing a skill-based game, I have a 2-drink optimum or 2.5 drinks. So yeah, this is true. But then I pay by having a compromised immune system next day, basically. So if there's anything trying to attack me, I know. But it's like that if you have a bad night's sleep or whatever. So I had a couple of nights of having a glass of wine in the evening. I tend to not really drink during the week.
I noticed it most with your skill-based thing with drinking with, what was it, Top Golf.
Top Golf, yeah.
After a couple of drinks, suddenly like your game completely changed.
Yeah, so I definitely, skill-based stuff. So yeah, golf or Top Golf, because you can drink there. Like snooker or pool, darts, any of that kind of thing. Or even like the Xbox, like playing Call of Duty and stuff like that. I think it makes me more relaxed, and so 2.5 drinks in, I'm optimum. But then if I carry on drinking too much too quickly, I'll like go off the edge of like the skill base just goes down the pan. But I haven't done jiu-jitsu drunk.
No.
Not actively
Hungover?
drunk. Oh yeah. I've done it like a few times where I've had like a couple of pints with my lunch over the weekend, or like if I'm having a day off or something, and then I'll come train in the evening. So I'm not drunk. I'm actually fine to like get in the car and everything, but you'll still have a certain element of being kind of more relaxed about you. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, certainly after drinking a lot for like a day or two, I know if I get attacked by any germs or anything like that, they're going to get me. Definitely. So I think that contributed to mine as well.
Okay.
And similar to you, I've been craving like good meat, proper vegetables, all that stuff. Man, I think training's good for that because it's like an excuse to look after yourself, because left to your own devices, I know I'd not take good care of myself.
Yeah.
But if I know I'm training that night or training tomorrow morning, it's a really good excuse to kind of keep you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the same for me though, because I know if I eat a bunch of shit the night before, I'm going to train the next day and it will make me feel like shit, but it's going to make me work harder because it's going to be harder for me.
So you're punishing yourself almost.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think I enjoy punishing myself. I think that's my problem.
Yeah, I think you do to an extent.
I always doubt myself or tell myself I'm not doing enough or haven't achieved enough. So then I punish myself by having to do more.
And
In jiu-jitsu and just life in general, I think.
do you know where that stems from? Do you think?
Maybe social media.
Do you reckon?
Could be.
Yeah.
Just seeing everyone doing so much.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not doing that.
Or seeing everyone's highlights
Yeah.
as opposed to not the highlights.
Yeah.
Which is quite a common thing in, I suspect, all sport, but jiu-jitsu as well. Like if someone's trying to get like an Instagram that's like got lots of followers and stuff, they'll often make little snippets of themselves training and post all the best bits.
I think out of all the things I've posted of highlights of like competitions or just that training, all the good videos or techniques I've done, nothing's hit anything, any sort of like viralness, apart from the one clip of me slipping up at a competition that's had like 30,000 views or something. It's just like, it's the only thing that's ever got anything.
Which is interesting, right? Because that's essentially like a failure.
Yeah.
And yet obviously struck a chord, or people found it funny, or...
Yeah. And for some reason it just went mental and loads of views and likes.
Yeah. Which is also because it like humanizes you. Instead of just being some other person trying to put like lots of clips of you doing jiu-jitsu on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting. Though I think as well, like, do you think you had that already, or do you think starting jiu-jitsu has helped that because it gives you a place to put that, like, it's not punishment, but like gives you a sense of I have to work harder.
Yeah.
Because I did something I regret, like eating a whole pack of...
Yeah,
digestive-
like you notice the difference when you eat some shit
Yeah.
and then go train. You really feel the difference in your body, what it can do and what it can handle after or like 20 minutes into a training session or something. You really notice the difference.
Do you say your nutrition has been better since starting jiu-jitsu, like because you've had to be better?
I reckon so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still not great.
You've learned some lessons along the way, haven't you?
Oh, 100%. I've learned a lot.
Do you want to tell the story of I can't remember what it was. I think it was a grading day.
When my brother got his blue belt.
Is that when it was?
Yeah. Because Kev was down, a couple of
Yeah.
people were down. We went to take a photo at the end, and I hadn't drunk any water. The only thing I'd eaten at that morning was a Terry's chocolate orange.
The whole thing.
Yeah. And so we were taking a photo at the end, and I said to, I think it was you and Ben,
Yeah.
I just said, oh, I'm not feeling that great. The next thing I remember, I was just flat out on the floor, just looking up at you two, and I'd passed out during the photo.
Yeah.
And then after that, Catherine would relentlessly always ask me if I took water to class, have I drunk enough water? And yeah, that was a lesson I learnt, and I drink loads of water now.
You drink loads of water now?
Yeah. Not all the time at class. If I'm going to do like a 2-hour class, I will take water with me. But if it's just an hour class, I tend to not bring any. Maybe I'll bring like flavoured water or something. But apart from that.
Well, arguably, you should be drinking hydration. Like, you should be drinking to hydrate in the hours leading up to training anyway.
Yeah.
To get
that's my fridge. That's all it has in there is water. You can check now if you want.
Maybe I will. Yeah. And I think it's interesting when people start jiu-jitsu, because like sometimes you get people starting who are already into sport and athletic generally, or PTs often, starting. But you also get people who are not sporty.
Yeah.
And I don't know how often you get people who aren't sporty joining like some other sports. Like, I don't think you'd get a non-sporty person joining a netball team or something, let's
or like
say.
rugby.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of like inkling or want to, or tried something before.
Which again, I think ties into jiu-jitsu being kind of alternative and a bit of a subculture. And it's a sport, but it's not just a sport.
Like people try football.
Yeah.
It's a bit easy.
It just doesn't,
It's a bit boring.
have the same.
Like Ashley, he loves his football.
It does.
Wet wipe.
I'm not sure we'll talk about that too much next week, because
No.
I don't think any of us are really into football, are we?
No.
We can take the piss out of them for it.
Yeah. Like I don't mind, like, I'd say like a decent team, but I think everyone's crap. I don't mind playing like FIFA or something like that occasionally, but watching football, I can't really do it non-stop. I can watch the odd game or something if I'm with someone I'm interested in hanging out with. But
then do you think that people think that about when they tries to make them watch a jiu-jitsu?
100%. People trying to watch jiu-jitsu have no idea what's going on.
That's even worse, right?
Yeah. Some of the people that I've spoken to, or like over the years, tried to, gone on dates with and stuff. They either think it's really weird, or there was one person that thought it was like a turn on. Don't know how. It was a turn on, which I thought was weird in itself. So we never saw each other again.
Oh, I can see that though. It's fighting, which in a way is like there's an evolutionary element to
reckon?
that, of someone finding that attractive.
I think it's because I disconnect that sort of thing from jiu-jitsu.
That's the thing. If you've ever done jiu-jitsu, you know how it's not
Sexual
in
whatsoever.
anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So you disconnect the two completely. So when someone says they think it is, I'm just like, well, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. Because if someone who trains said that to you,
Yeah.
it'd start to get a bit weird.
Yeah,
Right?
it's just, if we were rolling and I just said to you, mate, this is quite sexual, isn't it?
I feel like some boundaries have been crossed. I've done my safeguarding training.
Yeah.
And,
You're a wrong one.
I'm snitching on to Bernie about you. Well, either that or you like treat it like a game of chicken, right?
Yeah.
I saw a good a meme. It's not a meme, it's just a picture on the internet of a guy who's like, me and my friends used to play gay chicken, which is like you're all straight, but you see who can, like, you go in to have a kiss with someone and see who like can outlast the other person.
Yeah.
It's like, that was 3 years ago. We're now married and have adopted a child. I'm really big on the pride scene and stuff. And like, I think maybe I'm just gay. Yeah, no, I think jiu-jitsu is very proudly gay, and we all, because it's so like physical contact, it's a very male,
looks very gay.
dominated sport, and there's a obviously kind of a homoerotic, like it's sweaty men having a wrestling match.
But I think it's such a primal thing. It's just like, as kids, can't remember who said this to me, but I remember hearing it from someone. But it's such a, like, as kids, we always just like play fight. Women, boys, whoever it is, we're always play fighting, messing around, rolling around on the floor. So as soon as, like, it feels like the same thing, but just for adults.
Yeah. No, I think it's the
Instead of a soft play.
Yeah, instead of soft play.
Yeah.
I think it's the external viewpoint that can sexualize it because it's physical contact, and it which it is.
Yeah.
Man, like I suspect it can, not in a sexual way, but fulfill a kind of a need for physical contact, because I think everyone's got a need for physical contact, and you often do get that from a partner, not in like actually having sex, but like just
the touch.
Just touch, right? Man, I think that's a big part of the reason it's so popular, because
then equally, saying that, I like physical contact, like from my partner, and being single, I don't get that. But then from jiu-jitsu, I also feel I don't get it because of like still training jiu-jitsu. I don't feel like I get the same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not physical contact in a romantic way.
No,
but it's just there's something instinctive, really, I think. But then it's interesting because there's lots of people on the spectrum who train, like on the autism spectrum. I know we joke about it a lot, but there are lots of people on the spectrum who train jiu-jitsu who often are not big into physical touch.
Yeah.
Like in general, like because I am a bit of a hugger. Like if I meet someone for the first time, you're getting a hug.
Yeah.
But obviously if someone's actually like opposed to that, I obviously won't just go and give them a hug. But generally I'm not averse to giving someone a hug. And I think for people like me, I think jiu-jitsu is great because you do tap into that kind of fraternal or friend kind of rough and tumble, like you said. But then I also wonder if people on the spectrum who don't like physical touch in their social lives enjoy jiu-jitsu because you get to like have an element of control over it. You get to systematize it and being like, the game is to not let them touch you too much because otherwise you're getting crushed under side control, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But slightly off track to that, one thing I've liked seeing, like, we've got a few people that when they first turned up, they're quite quiet to themselves, and as you say, probably don't like physical contact or like being touched. But for some reason, they've come along to give it a go, and then like 6 months in, suddenly they're chatting to everyone, they're opening up, they're getting more involved, and just like opening up as a person, like just changing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's desensitization to physical contact or to conflict, like physical conflict as well, because you become a more relaxed person in general. And I think because we're dealing with such a, like, it needs to be an environment of trust, right?
Yeah.
And I like to think that, certainly at Newbury anyway, I think that's really like encouraged, and people do get that and come out of their shells very quickly. And I think through physical contact and fighting and stuff, I think we can actually break down the social kind of barriers so much quicker, because you'd never have that much contact with someone you didn't really know, or a colleague or something that you hadn't just met. And I think you skip a lot of steps, right?
Yeah. You get stuck right in there, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, like I'm put right into this situation that I've not been used to before.
But it's made me a better communicator on like in a verbal sense, and like stepping into a room, feeling confident in a room, not in like an arrogant way, but like no one's trying to strangle me, therefore this isn't that stressful. That's
exactly how, like, I found, like, I think when I first started, the thought of like touching someone else that wasn't like a partner or something was just weird. Like, my brother would want to show me a technique or something, and be like, he wanted me to get between his legs. I was like, this is fucking weird. Like, why the fuck would I do this?
Yeah, so much contact. If you're not desensitized to it, it's like can be like an ick.
Yeah, exactly. It was like an ick. I was just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I went to a class and tried it, you're in the room full of everyone who thinks it's normal.
It's really normalized.
Yeah,
so
no one's
quickly.
looking around like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh yeah, let's just do it. You get so comfortable with those uncomfortable situations. And as you say, like when you get so used to on a daily basis, someone trying to choke you unconscious or like break your arm or break your leg and stuff like this, everyday life's so much easier. Like I remember one morning, I think it was a white belt or blue belt, woke up, went to leave for work. I think it was about 5 a.m. or 6, and the window on my car was smashed in. And instead of like going off my shit, I was just like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, there's no cameras, it's dark, it's pitch black. What am I going to do? Just get on with it. Like, it's just one of those things. There's nothing I can do. So just got on with it. And at the time, my partner then was just like, how are you so chill about this? Like, your car's smashed in. Like, it's like, it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. Just move on.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most valuable lessons you get from jiu-jitsu is that like you do go through that kind of grinder of being in those awful spots, especially to begin with, and having to learn to deal with that.
Learn to just relax and just sort of mellow out a bit.
Yeah, and I think you can extrapolate that out into the rest of your life. Obviously, like
there's some things that
saying.
are just not in your control, and you learn just to accept that you're not always going to be in full control.
Yeah, if you've been under like a 120 kilo black belt in mount or something, and you're like, well, I accept my fate in this particular situation.
I am fucked. I'll just survive as long as I can, and then
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's good at giving you perspective.
Yeah.
And that's something I'd like to ask Ashley actually, because jiu-jitsu is a great perspective tool. And I think having an illness is probably a good perspective tool as well. And I suspect that's part of the reason why Ashley doesn't take his life too seriously.
Oh no, like from outside perspective of seeing Ashley how he used to be before he got ill to where he is now, like it's night and day. Like his mentality and everything's just completely different.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to try and dig into that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's pre and post jiu-jitsu, but then obviously for Ashley, and this is something
Even the way he looks is completely different from before to after.
Yeah, pre and post cancer as well. And I think because, so obviously he'll go into this in slightly more detail, obviously, but because his was linked to his stomach and stuff like that can affect obviously how big you are. And so he like he's never been big, but then he had to really slim down, or not had to, like he did, because he couldn't eat and stuff. So, and now he can eat, and he's probably eating or training differently. He's bigger, like he's literally like he's more of a muscular person. Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting how it gives you different tools to deal with different stuff, and I think perspective is quite a big bit of a game changer, I think. Yeah. Which you can't always have. Like, obviously I came in today and you were about to throw the printer through the wall. Yeah. That's really trivial stuff. Like, in that particular instance, you didn't have a lot of perspective, did you?
But I also haven't trained since Tuesday.
Well, this is interesting, right? So you wonder,
Whereas if I get my training, and usually I'm a lot more chill. And that's the same thing. Like, I remember, where was I? I think it was Forteventura. I was away on holiday for a week, and it was like, I just know I need to get like 1 hour of training in. That's all I need, just 1 hour, and I'll be all right. And that'll sort me out. The rest of it I can enjoy. And I had a great time. I hate the heat. So I was trying to deal with that, but I contacted one club, but they never got back to me in the end. And I was just like, I'm not just going to turn up uninvited sort of thing. So I didn't get my training in, which is a bit irritating, but still had a great time. I just had to manage it.
Yeah, and I think it also teaches you the limitations you've got, because you knew you became aware that you were getting kind of frustrated, and so even the awareness of that makes you less likely that it's going to sneak up on you and come out in other ways, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you do to look after yourself because of jiu-jitsu that you didn't do previously?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. I just know how it's changed a lot of like my mindset of how I look at things. In some ways for good, in some ways for bad, I think.
So what's the bad ways?
I think I'm just a lot more chill. I just don't give a fuck.
And that's bad?
Yeah. Takes some of my drive away, I think. I'm just like, what's the point? I'm chill.
So it's gone like too much in the other direction.
I'm just like, whatever, like, life's too short to give a shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad things in life, so yeah, you got to take it with a pinch of salt, right?
Yeah. It's like when things go wrong, it's just like, whatever. Like, it's shit, but I'll get through it.
But then equally, and I...
Just get another couple of hours of training and
that'll
sort me out.
I'm quite kind of open about this. I was talking to my therapist about this yesterday, and I was...
all saying that's one thing people keep telling me I need to do.
Speak to a therapist or a counsellor. That's something I think everyone should do. If there was two things I could recommend everyone to do with their life, is do jiu-jitsu and speak to someone who is a professional, like speaker, listener.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit like, and I always compare it to putting your bins out. They're basically your emotional bin man or woman.
I've always looked at it and thought, like, it seems like a great idea, and I definitely think it would be beneficial to me with the stuff that's bothering me. But I just look at it and it's like, it seems like a lot of work to try and find someone that you're willing to talk to or connect with to talk to, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but then...
Sean was saying the other day you can get him through the NHS, you just have to go on a waiting list or something.
You can, there's just a longer time to wait, but to wait for a year compared to having to not just to not do it at all.
Yeah.
And you could argue the same thing for the jiu-jitsu, right? You have to find a club you get on with, you like, the people there are cool, it's not too far to travel, it's not too expensive, but it's still something to bear in mind in terms of your monthly budget and all that stuff. But what's the benefit? And I think jiu-jitsu gets you, like, lets you have someone to put your physical stuff.
Yeah.
And I think speaking to someone, it's like when you put all of your bins out, every week or every 2 weeks, and someone actually takes it away, because otherwise you can stick it somewhere, but then you'll have to deal with it kind of another time. And they have no attachment to you, which is the reason, because they can take that stuff and been like, okay, and you've let the bin man
deal with it,
take it away. That's just the best way I can describe it. Stop it
crush it
building up
and put it in the recycling, throw away.
Yeah, like instead of leaving it outside your back door, because you don't look at it all the time.
A lot's gone out my back door recently.
Yeah, the top door, the back door. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. And I was saying about being too relaxed or too laid back, or you can be too much in the other direction. If an issue's a bit bad, but not so bad that you actually take action to do something about it, you just kind of ignore this small thing potentially forever, and then it's this small thing added to that small thing added to another small thing, and the little thing you ignored a while ago is now slightly bigger, and all that stuff. Whereas if something's really bad there and then, you have to deal with it there and then. And that's why I was...
How long have you been doing therapy for?
Since everything happened to us with the twins. Okay. So after they were born and they died. So I was speaking to him anyway, because he used to be a police officer, and I was just asking for some advice because I joined the police, and my mum already knew him. But then it turned into, instead of being more of a casual chat, just asking him kind of advice for my job and stuff, everything happened and I actually needed some therapy. So, and then after all that had happened, I properly started speaking to him in an actual therapeutic kind of a way.
Yeah.
And spoken to him ever since. So a lot of the time you do it on you'll have a certain amount of sessions and you'll work through a certain amount of stuff in a certain amount of time, and it's up to them to work out that and as to whether you have to extend that or not. But with him, it's kind of indefinite. I just speak to him on a regular, because especially it's different again if you go with the NHS or privately, because privately you can just say, can I just continue paying you for sessions, and they'll say yeah. So but I think there's a big therapeutic nature to jiu-jitsu, because we all have to then deal with our egos, and it makes you feel good, but then also sometimes makes you feel bad, because sometimes you just go to open mat or someone and just get fucking smashed into the mat, and you're like, that was a bad one. That still happens to me now. I know people think, oh, you're a brown belt and a coach or whatever, but it still happens to us. You have some weeks where you're just like, fucking hell, should probably have my belt back and stop doing jiu-jitsu altogether. But again, that small negative experience builds your resilience up, and I think that can be argued for anything. It's difficult when a big bad thing happens, because that's a big trauma, can often do you damage, like actual damage that you then have to repair.
UPS.
Wait for the van to go past. Whereas a little one like that is like, just again, when you're building a muscle, you're basically doing trauma to the muscle, right? Which repairs, makes it bigger, makes it stronger. I think jiu-jitsu's like that. Obviously, actually muscularly, but like also in like an ego sense and a resilience sense. And I think therapy is probably similar to that, because it can be difficult, but then that's the reason you do it, right?
Yeah.
This got quite deep actually.
It did
today, didn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe we should stop. We've touched on Ashley, touched on immune system and
tease,
extending self-care.
Yeah.
Touched on perspective of jiu-jitsu and extrapolating that into the rest of your life. There's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
That's some gold.
Some nuggets to take away.
Nuggets. You've been dropping nuggets. Actually, no, they weren't nuggets, were they?
No, they've not been nuggets. It's been like a waterfall.
Grim. On that note, let's call it a day. We've been at it. Oh no, I had to stop it when someone knocked on your door. So I think it's been almost an hour. So
that's not been
that's
too bad.
That's a lot of stuff. We've been on a rambling little journey, haven't we?
But next we will have the veteran purple belt Ashley Reynolds on.
The king will be in the house. Ashley Reynolds next time. He can tell us all about
the incredible story he's been on.
Yeah.
The journey, the submissions.
The journey. So
the
he's
pain and
come
suffering.
Back. He's back and he's looking at us. We'll talk to him about his business, cancer culture, or cancer. Rewind. So he can tell us all about that, and he can give us his interesting story next time.
Yeah.
Tune in. And as always, if people have correspondence, please do get in touch, because it's really, so I speak to people at the open mats and stuff like that, and they say, I listened to this podcast, listen to that really one, this was interesting or whatever. If you liked it, let us know on Instagram, or if you have any questions or topics you want covered, please do let us know, because
send us some fucking voice notes.
And some voice notes are always fun. Even if you want to just send a voice note in to insult either John or Mason, that's fine.
Send me some.
Not me.
I know I'm fat.
My ego can't take it.
Keep coming at me. And I'm sorry for, I should say, Vic, I have tried your, I think, was it the Impaler?
Submission
that was talking about?
Did you try it?
Yeah. Straight away afterwards, everyone just told me how much they hate me, pretty much afterwards. They just said it was really horrible and mean.
Probably
So with that, I'm going to do it some more.
yeah, I think that was the desired effect.
Yeah.
You know?
So thank you, Vic.
Nice one, Vic. Cheers, mate. Right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Perfect.